Hey, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy Vusi Max. Welcome back to Vusi Supreme Traders. You already know what's going on right now, man. So I was supposed to drop this video last night, couldn't drop it because sometimes we play too hard, and like we just gotta do what we gotta do. But yeah, I'm back. I want to drop this video like while it's still early, so you can get a chance to kind of like just draw up your watch list and stuff like that. If you already haven't like Listen, man, listen. I'm always telling you guys to have your watch list every weekend ready. So if you haven't done that, like this video is gonna help you do that. I was supposed to drop this last night, like I'm saying, but I really couldn't, so I'm dropping it now in the morning, on a Monday morning, you know what I'm saying? So join my WhatsApp group. It's gonna be the first pinned comment. You know what I'm saying? Join the free WhatsApp group. That's why I'm gonna send the screenshots to all the setups that I'm gonna be doing in this video. So I got 3 charts for you. I got the NAS 100, I got the NZD USD, and then I got the USD JPY. So those are the 3 charts that we're gonna deal with today. And listen, I haven't slept the whole day. I ain't slept the whole night. What am I saying? So I ain't slept the whole night. So listen, I hope you appreciate this. And all right, let's go into it right now.
Juki got the sauce, bitch.
Alright, so we're gonna kick it with the euro, not the euro. We're gonna kick it off with the USD Japanese yen, the USD JPY, and then we're gonna go to the daily time frame, right? So when you look at the daily time frame, you're gonna see that this pair, ever since October 2019, which is there, we're still at the same spot, which is there. Like there's like almost, excuse me, guys, like I barely had any sleep. So for almost over a year, right? This pair has been moving sideways. We've done absolutely nothing at this point, so it really doesn't make sense for you to go into such a market and like hope that the price is gonna really do like or have a trend or any substantial movement. You understand what I'm saying? So we're just gonna look at the weekly time frame because we were already looking at it from the daily time frame. So we're gonna go to the weekly time frame and see if maybe we can see something else, like something that says otherwise on the weekly time frame, and then we're gonna like confirm there, right? So now we're at the weekly time frame, right? We can kind of sort of see that like, this market is still looking very sideways, but the only thing I can see here is that the highs are getting like kind of lower, including this one, right? But overall, we're moving sideways because the price isn't really like in an uptrend or a downtrend or anything like that, right? So what I want to show you guys is on the monthly time frame. So we're gonna switch this chart from a weekly time frame to a monthly chart. So this is what the monthly chart looks like, fam, right? I'm just gonna zoom out a bit and so you can see. So like even on the monthly chart, this pair is moving sideways, right? But it doesn't mean that the rallies and the sell-offs that occur in this market aren't really like worth like trading or worth like capitalizing from, because like when it moves guys. Like when it moves from down there to like this peak right there, that's a lot of pips, you understand? So I have reasons to kind of get to a conclusion that this market is kind of in a, not even kind of, this market is in a like sideways market. We're correcting, but it's kind of like the market right now is correcting. So we know that the market moved from impulse to correction, or push and exhaustion type of movement, where the price may push, like the price may really push higher and higher, right? And then it can get to a point where like it's kind of exhausted, and then that's where you're gonna see like that momentum. That's when it's gonna wear off, and then you're gonna start to see the market trying to you're gonna see the market start to behave erratically, right? So What you're gonna do, you're gonna draw a line starting from there. You're gonna join it with this one, and then now it's gonna show you exactly where the price lies on the chart, right? So let's do it. So right off the bat, this is the first line that we have, and we know that this is where the trend line is supposed to be because we made contact here, we made second contact, and then we rejected to actually break down to the downside from this trend line here, right? But another thing I want to show you is there's actually a relationship also with the highs, because remember, if you're drawing a trend line from the downside, it means the lows have a relationship, and if you're drawing it from the upside, it means the highs have a relationship also. So the lows have a relationship and the highs have a relationship. Let me show you. This is what I'm telling you about, right? But remember, this is on a monthly chart, right? So you're gonna have to pay attention to what happens here. I'm sure in the next we might do something at the end of I'm really like pushing myself to do this video out for you guys, because I don't want you guys to like go into the week with like no setups, with no watch list, with no anything, like, you understand me? So when you join the highs, we get this beautiful trend line at the top there, and then we can see that we do make contact with it on numerous occasions. You understand? So now the only thing that's left is a breakout. We're either gonna push to the upside or we're gonna push to the downside. And remember, we have to wait for the candlestick close. So if this is a monthly chart, we have to see a breakout and wait for that breakout to close on a monthly chart, because that's key. Because I remember we had sometime this month, I think it was early this month, I had a member who asked me like, yo, should I buy into this trade, and was still when it was at the peak there. And I told him, no, you gotta wait for the candlestick close. So if you had opened that buy there, he would have taken a whole lot of losses, like, because the price, you can see what happened. Like, there was a rejection, but it doesn't mean that because it's a rejection to the upside, the price is going to go to the downside. We still have to wait and see if we can actually close bearish, which is below the trend line, or bullish, which is above this trend line, right? So keep this on the watch list and just keep checking on it. I'm also going to make a follow-up to this chart at the end of the month or anything like that, depending on what we actually see, right? So let's go to the next chart. So the next chart we're gonna look at, guys, is the NZD USD, the New Zealand dollar against the US dollar, right? So with this one, fam, this is a very interesting one, because to actually get this trend line, you gotta look at it from the weekly time frame, right? So the weekly time frame shows us starting from there that we kind of had this peak there, and then ever since that peak, the highs have been getting lower, right? And the lows have also been getting lower. So the highs are getting lower and the lows are getting lower, right? But now like, it's time for this pair, and we're looking at it on the H4 time frame. It's time for this pair to really like either push to the upside or push to the downside, right? So let's go to the daily time frame, and then I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. So if you've been subscribed to the channel, you understand that, or you know that, like, this is a pair that I've already like analyzed from the start, right? So I'm going to put the link to the full analysis in the description box below. If you want to see the full analysis to this, then go check that out, right? So what I'm telling you guys about is, we was waiting to see what's going to happen when the price makes contact with the main trend line. This is the main trend line marked in black, right? So we have our reversal line, right? We have our reversal line there, and we have sort of our, because this is a pattern, right? So we kind of have this pattern there, which is a ascending wedge, right? So we had an ascending wedge, and like, because the highs, and also because the highs are also like, you know, these starting from this high to this one, 2, 3, we've been making contact with the same trend line, which are marked in red, right? And at the same time, we had this ascending wedge pattern formation, which suggested that the price most likely was going to break out to the downside. But like I said, all this pattern and stuff that's free usually is free for a reason, and it's not really that reliable. So the price action is far more reliable than any of those other things, right? So we know we didn't make contact with the main trend line, but that now means we can either push to the downside and sell as soon as we close bearish on the blue trend line, right? But if we don't, we can wait to see what's going to happen as we make contact here. So on this market, there's still not a trade that's open. We're still waiting to see what's actually about to happen, fam. So let's go to the next 100. Coming to the next 100 now, fam. You see that if you go to the daily time frame, all you need to do is go to the daily time frame and draw a trend line starting from the 21st of April. Join it with all the other weeks, because now when you go to the lower time frames, the trend is actually going to be clearer, right? So let's go to the H4. So as we go to the H4, we can clearly see the trend and what's going on with the trend and stuff like that. And what I want to show you is what happened here. I'm just going to zoom, make it a bit skinny so we can see the full like action of this chart, right? So what happened, we traded this breakout in the past weeks, right? We traded this breakout and it paid off nicely, and then we closed there because it was a Friday, and you never want to hold trades over the weekend in this kind of situations because you don't know any fundamental, like any piece of fundamental news can like tip the market over at this point. So you want to secure your bag, right? So that's what we did. We secured the bag, and then now we went on to make a new high, right? But that's not what we're here for. We're here because the market now came back to make a low, and we're back to the trend line. So if you remember what we did there, right? If you just take a look at what we did there and draw this trend line now, you can clearly see that price is doing a repetition of what happened there. We're about to make a higher low, and then on the breakout of this green trend line, that's where we're going to open a buy again, right? But obviously, if we break down to the downside, we might have to wait to see a retest and then sell into strength. But at this point, trust me, if we make a breakout to this side and then we close bullish, then that's going to be a jump. That's going to be an opportunity to make money there. And I'm going to basically let you guys know what's going on in the WhatsApp group as usual. So if you don't know about that, man, I don't know what you're doing and why you're still watching, because you got to join the group first and then come back here. Everything's going to be everything's going to be like one thing. You understand what I'm saying? So that's all I got for you. Alright, fam, that's it. That's all I got for you guys today. I'm working on a little something else. I want to drop like a video later today, but that's gonna depend on if I can really squeeze in the time to do that, because I haven't slept the whole night, so I'm gonna catch some sleep now and then. I've got some things to do, but hopefully if all goes well, I'm gonna drop the video later on or tonight, somewhere along those lines or something. So thank you guys for watching. Thanks for being awesome. Subscribe, comment. I'm gonna see you guys on the next one. Alright, peace out. Wait, like the video too. Alright, peace out.